Hi guys, welcome to the Loop by Okaka, and today I'm joined in by Anne Mwaura.
Hi.
The great, of course. I know you've heard her on the Fuse and Capital FM, so I'll let her actually introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Anne Mwaura. I'm a radio presenter, a TV presenter, entrepreneur now, woohoo, yes. Actress as well as just, hopefully a vibe. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so yeah, I actually got to communicate with her the first time on LinkedIn, was it? I think so.
Yeah.
And ever since, she's just been a vibe, and thank you for being here. So let's dive in. So everyone has an origin story, so kindly give us yours.
Alright, so my origin story, born and raised in Nairobi, then I went to the States for a little bit for university, where my major is actually in acting, so I'm trained to act on stage. And then I came back and won Capital One, one of the few people, one of the controversies of Capital One, but yes, I was one of them. And then after that I was on Hits Not Homework. It was a time to be alive for everybody who had ears. And then I got onto the Fuse, which is my baby, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then I also was lucky enough or worked hard enough to get onto Switch TV as well, 6 months into my career, which was crazy. And then I had 2 TV shows there. So I did Switchboard and I did Daily 10. So I was working Monday to Sunday. And then in between that, I also was filming a show called The Yard, and I also did a stage play. It was a busy time in my career. But then yeah, and then now I'm just like I'm more calmed down now. So now I'm creating my own brand, my own business.
Okay, that's nice. So so what do people actually really misunderstand about you? Like, to set it straight.
People misunderstand about me. I think people think I'm like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
so people think I'm a bitch, right? Because I have resting face, and I'm not. I promise you, I'm actually a lot more friendly in person, and they also probably think I'm a snob because like maybe the accent thing, or just like I have mad anxiety, so I'm not gonna come say hi first. I get super anxious. So mix all of that together, and I look like someone would want to hate, which is devastating. Yes.
Okay, that's a new one. So,
Yes.
who are the most influential people in your life, and how they actually impacted in your career and your life?
Most influential people in my life definitely has to start with family. So the women in my life, my mom, my sister, my grandma. My granny was headmistress at Kenya Primary School, the one next to State House Girls. And then my mom is a psychologist. She's a clinical psychologist for drug and alcohol abuse, and she got her degree much later in life. And my sister is just amazing. Like her personality is fantastic. So I think family-wise would be them, and then I've got great friends as well. So like my best friend Gina, my best friend Aisha, just very interesting people. My co-host would be now the last person I say as well. So Nadia Favory. She's like my wife almost, because we're on the show together every single day. So she's just incredible as well. So I'd say those are the 3 groups of people that influence me the most.
Oh, that's nice. I'm actually a fan of Nadia.
Yeah, she's a vibe, right?
She's a vibe, yeah, true. So going to next, what you do exactly, the many hats you wear actually. How would your parents describe whatever you do?
Oh my gosh, yes, I was asking them this the other day. What do you think I do? They're like, talk. So I guess talk. So like just
Yeah, actually that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main thing I do.
Sure, actually you actually know how to do it, so
yeah, hopefully.
Oh.
Every day is a day by day case.
Yeah, true. So what's your favorite part of your job at Capital?
Ooh, that's so hard. I've been asked this a few times in the last 4 years, and it's like changed over the years. Definitely the interviews that we have. My favorite part of the job is the content I get to choose, right? So we can talk anything from like mental health, or in March, like we've done a lot of women's conversations as well, and having men involved in that. We could talk anything from food, so basically picking the content and conversation and showing people that there's so much out there going on, so they kind of get out of their heads and their small bubble. That's my favorite part of the job, it's the content now.
The content. And in that aspect, which is the craziest interview you've ever had on radio actually?
I'm not going to say who.
But yeah.
But when I was on Hits Not Homework, we had a couple which were nuts, because I'd ask them a question in English, but then they're speaking like proper Shang. I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. So they would do that on purpose. So I used to be like, what is happening here? Or I've had some big wigs come in and ask like, where's the man? Like waiting for the man to come in to do the interview. And I'm like, nah, it's me. Yeah. So then I'll be the craziest ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And how good is it? So
No.
No. I tried.
Yes, yeah.
So what is the most important personality trait for someone who wants to work in your field?
Most important personality trait is, how do I explain this? You have to be able to put on a show, and even if you have a bad day, you have to like. But most important personality trait. Don't sweat the small stuff. Be yourself 100%, because you can tell when someone's copying someone else's personality, be it local or international. So your most important personality trait is you, yourself. So whatever is unique to you, bring that forward, because you'll be able to tell quickly.
Yeah. So actually, speaking of don't sweat the small stuff, I've actually read a book of that.
Yeah.
Sense. It's don't sweat the small stuff because it's actually small stuff at the end.
Yeah. Like if it's not gonna bother you tomorrow, don't really do it. I know it feels like it's like crazy at the moment. This has been my craziest year. So much is like, so much negativity has happened. But you have to match that with like positivity as well. So the minute you have a negative thought, counteract it with like 3 positive thoughts. You know what I mean? And write it down as well. It makes a huge difference.
Nice. That's nice. So what is the most important lesson you've learned over your career?
The most important lesson I've learned in my career is fake it till you make it doesn't work. It's actually more exhausting. Be kind to everybody, because the ones on the way up, you never know who's on the way up. Anyone, especially in the age of social media, is on the way up or on the way down as well. And have fun. Like, honestly, enjoy the moment that it's happening, because you're going to look back and be like, oh yeah, I was having a good time, but in that moment you're not appreciating what's going on. So appreciate every single moment.
Nice, that's nice. So recently I've just been making friends.
Yes.
Who are actually in radio, but we can say the people around podcasts and everything else.
Yeah.
And all of them want to make it at a point. So what advice would you give someone starting out in a small radio somewhere else, starting out on the podcast?
I started in a small radio, and I'm so grateful for it. I started on Verified Radio. Which was with Brenda Bath, right? And if she didn't give me that opportunity to practice and grow, and she sat with me and trained me every single morning, if she didn't give me that opportunity, I wouldn't be here. So it doesn't matter about where you're starting, it's about what you're doing and where you start. It's also about putting yourself in the right places. So one of the reasons I even got Capital was because I went to the Kenya Opens and I saw Miano, and he started talking to me about, just things in general. Like putting yourself in the right place around the right people as well really matters, but it's not about where you're starting. It's about taking everything you can from that moment and learning. The same things I was doing 4 years ago, on an online radio station are the same things I practice today, because I was learning then and I'm still learning now. So it doesn't matter where you start. Just make sure you're learning as you're going.
Okay, that's nice. So this is a safe space. So tell us about how that came up and how it started.
Right. So I always talk about how people think my DMs would be full of like craziness, but it's not. It's a lot of the times it's people opening up, and especially men, grown men, being like, I've lost my job, or my girlfriend's dumped me, or my wife is not talking to me. Like it was so overwhelming. So I wanted to just make sure that I've created a safe space. I know we'll talk about the website. I want to make sure that I've created a safe space where you don't feel judged. If you do have a question when it comes to mental health, when it comes to finding a psychologist, or asking even about medication, or even just the smallest things, you've entered a safe space, and that's what that part of it is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you recently announced a major international partnership and unveiled your own company. So tell us what it is about, what do you plan to achieve as Anne Mwaura, and the experience that actually made you.
Yeah, the biggest pressure of my life. So Eminent Media, they're based in Canada and Kenya. They're fantastic, by the way. Check them out. They had approached me a year ago about like teaming up and collaborating together, but I wasn't ready at the time. And I knew from previous taking on too many jobs and just too much, if you're not ready, it's going to fail. So then they approached me again towards the end of last year, and they were like, we're still really interested, we've seen your numbers behind the scenes, we've been following you now for almost 3 years, we'd love to collaborate and let's see what we can do. I had to give them now a business plan of like where I want to be in 5 years, what I want to do with my brand, who am I as well. So once we had those first meetings, it was fantastic to map out exactly what I want to do with this. Do I want a website? Do I want to just keep it on social media alone? So for me, a big thing and why I love working with them is that they understood very clearly Instagram can go down today. You know, Facebook can go down today, Twitter can go down today, but it's really hard to take down my website, AnneMwaura.com. So I wanted to be able to own my domain and own exactly where every part of the information is. And a very key part of it was I went onto my Instagram. You notice that request part of it. I have almost like 1,000 messages I've not seen in the last 4 years. And when I was going through them, I was just like, how did I miss job opportunities? How did I miss friendships? How did I miss collaborations? I missed a lot, you know, in that time. And that to me was like, I cannot let that happen. I cannot carry forward with like the same mistake. So it's like if I have it all in one place and I'm able to curate it and I'm able to see what's going on, it just makes it so much easier to be more efficient as a brand in general. And looking at an international stage, I want to match the same I'm seeing in the States, in the UK, and Australia. And those girlies and those boys have got it going on, so to match it, you have to, you know, get on that line.
Yeah. So that's the reason why.
Yes.
But I feel like there's something behind it that actually just put you in.
Yes. So I lost someone recently, 2 months ago, my friend. So that kind of just sparked this want for like change and just better, not just for myself, but it's rebirthed me basically. It's just that experience has completely shifted my life. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, what's your tip on making the world a better place?
Something I ask myself every day. Compassion and empathy. You don't have to understand why someone's the way they are, what's going on, but you have to empathize with some part of maybe their struggle or their success as well. So I think compassion and empathy is the only way you can make the world a better place. It doesn't mean you take shit from someone. It just means you can you can see further than how it's making you feel at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree on the empathy part especially.
Yeah.
So give us your morning routine.
It's a very day-by-day thing nowadays. But for most part, alarm is at 6:30. I'm out of bed at 7. Now I'm meditating a lot more. I also write in the morning, so write affirmation and gratitude. So I'm going to look at that at the end of the day. And then as the coffee's making, I take a shower, brush my teeth, wash my face, and then have my coffee and head out.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so still in that area, we can ask. I can ask. Give us like your productivity hack, as in how you can help someone. Yeah.
You've never been broke. There you go. That will wake you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sure.
There's no hack to it. Some people work 1 hour a day and make so much more than someone that works 8 hours. There's no hack to this thing. It's just, if you're scared of being broke, like, let's be very real, then you will figure it out and you'll wake up for it. And that hunger will drive you. That's what drives me, that hunger.
The hunger.
Yeah.
Yes. So so still that's what keeps you motivated, right?
What keeps me motivated now is like there's a power and control of the information and narrative that comes out in certain information. So I'm very cautious of, I just don't want to be just another blob in this world that just added nothing, So I think that's my motivation. I want to actually make an impact.
On people's lives.
On people's lives, yeah.
Okay, so this is for my listeners. Where can they find you? How they can maybe contact you and everything else?
This is so cool. You can now find me on AnneMwaura.com. But yes, you can find me on AnneMwaura.com, and then it's Anne Mwaura and on all platforms except Twitter. I was hacked. If there's hackers there, you can also help me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for today. Thank you for coming.
Thank
you. I
you.
really appreciate you coming. So give us a parting shot.
I'm going to say he did a fantastic job. If it was his first one and he's nervous. First time is always like the most hectic, but thank you so much. You guys are like so lovely to me and I love coming here.
Yeah.
It feels like family.
Yeah, it's actually.
Yeah, right? It is family.
Yeah.
I like my parents when I did that.
Nice.
Okay.
So thank you guys for listening in, and the people who are gonna watch, thank you. Like, comment, share, advice, reach out to Anne Mwaura if you have something to say, if you have something to ask. And See you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.